also similarly do?
If I want to focus on the song instead.
No, I mean, are you already in the WhatsApp group of the seminar group? No?
In the WhatsApp group.
She was yesterday here. I recall she was having class.
Yes.
Just give me no time inside. Wait. I have one spare book here. Anybody likes to borrow? I have a spare book. Okay. We didn't expect so much enthusiasm yesterday, so we only printed one or two, few of these copies. But there is a need for 10 more. Can you give me a minute?
Okay, the photo is already here.
I have sent photos.
Yeah, we can send.
Can you just look at us? So yesterday you had Kartal lessons, how to play Kartal. You have to show that you know how to play. Very good. Can you smoke?
But you want.
Nee, ich habe jemand das fotografiert und dann hat er das in WhatsApp geschickt. Ja,
So this is a 1-2-1-2, okay? Chung, 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 1-2, 1-2. Yeah, like that. Like I showed you yesterday how to play. But it's a little slower even than that. It goes like this. Amar Jivan Sada Pape Rato Nahi ko punye dole. Amar Jivan Sada Pape Rato Nahi ko punye dole. Kore re udvek diyachi dekho to diyachi di mere kre. Amar jivan sada pape rato nahi ko punye dole. I would ask you to sing along with me. Would it be too difficult? I said in Vaishnava Etiquette we learn new songs. And this is one of them. It's a very beautiful song in topmost humility. Bhakti Thakur was saying that my life was full of all kinds of sinful activities. Not even a little bit of piety did I do. I gave all these problems to other ones. And I upset so many people. Just because of my own happiness, I had no fear of committing any sin. And I had no mercy to others. I always lied to others. And when somebody else was unhappy, I became happy because of that. It's amazing how he words it, you know. I don't use the translation because I know each word, what it means. But this is nice. These are the moods of the acharyas, how they picture surrender and humility. Asesh kamana hridima jemor. There is no end to desires in my heart, right? Krodhidambho parayan. Always angry, always proud. Madamatta sada, always mad. Vishaya mohito, always running after sense gratification. Hingsagarvo vibhushan, always being violent to others and proud. These are my ornaments, right? So Bhakti Thakur, though he's a person who's completely perfect, he says like that. Nidrala sahata shukharja virato akarja udyogi ha ami. Very lazy and always sleepy. All this having no taste for doing some good activity. Akarya udyogi ami. Akari means non-activity. Pratishphalagya shatacharan. I love prestige. Shat, very cruel in my activities, in my personality. Lobhahato sadakami, full of greed and always lusty. Eheno durjan sadavirato aparadhi nirantara. Such kind of a wicked fellow am I. and I have no taste for having association with good people. Always I'm committing offenses. Shubhakarta Shunya, no good activity that I ever do. Shunya means zero. Sadanarthamana, Nana Dukha Jarajar. In my mind there is always these bad thoughts, and always it is pained by all kinds of I would say dukkha, all kinds of painful situations. Vardokhe Khan Upayavihin Taba Tate Dina Akinchan. I have no solution for all these kind of problems. Prabhu Racharane Kore Dukkha Nivedan. And this is the pain he has, and he puts all the pain he has at the lotus feet of his Prabhu, his master. This is how you can pray. If you have any problems with the mind or with desires, enmity with somebody, you just pray to the Lord and put everything at his lotus feet. I am not able to do all this properly. You please do everything, because I will not be able to control myself. So this is a 1, 2, 1, 2. If possible, you can sing along with me with a nice melody, and then we learn new songs. Yesterday you learned 3 new songs. Yesterday, right? Today again 2 new songs, maybe 3. Let's see. Pape nahi So we should learn all this. Krishna consciousness is full of nectar and raga and taste. And if you don't learn it, yes, then you remain a little bit dry. And then you say, oh, there's no taste in Krishna consciousness. You should learn. So we went ahead with the 4th chapter of Vaishnava Etiquette, Sadhu Sangha, forms and conduct in relationships, page number 62. And for those, we have only 4, actually 1, 2, 3. There's supposed to be 6 books, including mine. We only got 3. People took them home.
Yes.
Okay, you join and share with others. It's already some relationship you have done. You share the book. Sit with those who are there. When the book is, then you can see. So forms of conduct and relationship. Yesterday we discussed many basic items of how to bathe, Panchanga Puja. Anybody remembers what we discussed? Why we took Archana or Pancharatrika Vidhi as the standard or as the foundation for the beginning of the course. Anybody can explain? Those who are new, of course, I don't know if you followed on the live broadcast. Anybody can explain me? First of all, what means Pancharatrika? What does it mean? You don't know. Anybody who was yesterday there, I want to review a little bit, because it's a course. You know, you're like a senior. Let's see one of the students who are new. Pancharatrika. What means Pancharatrika? Sorry? Initiation. Yes. It's connected to that. You're warm, but not fully. I just want to know what means Pancharatrika. It's a broad term. Actually, initiation is part of that. You're right. But can you define Pancharatrika? Because you're doing it every day, you come in here. So let's see if you know what you're doing. So what are your students?
Also die 5 wichtigsten Dinge, die nacheinander kommen. Also,
5 wichtigste Dinge.
Ja.
Was sind die 5 wichtigsten Dinge?
also das Chanten und
Das ist nicht Pancharatrika. Das ist Rupa Goswami's from the 64 items, selecting the 5 most important. But you're right, Pancha means 5. Pancha means 5. Not the Ratra, not the Ratrika. Where does it come from, Pancharatrika? Okay, you can sit.
So Pancharatrika is the knowledge given by Bhagavan Sri Krishna to Lord Shiva, and then it was propagated further to Brahma and Narada, and it was given 5 nights. 5 nights this knowledge was transferred.
Actually, I was yesterday contemplating, it is not actually that Shiva got it first, Brahma got it first. Because Brahma decided he wanted to have a deity to worship. I guess it's coming from Sri Rangam, the deity there in Sri Rangam, big deity. It's like the entire temple room is just one deity, you're lying.
Yes.
That's big.
Padmanabha.
And if you go to Gauradesh, you'll find a deity that was originally worshipped by Brahma, later given to Ramachandra in Treta Yuga, and Vibhishan wanted to take it to Lanka. But when it arrived there on the island, it stayed there. So I guess it has to do with this, that actually Brahma wanted to worship, he got the knowledge, and later Shiva took it from him and gave it to Narada. It doesn't so much matter, it's the Sampradaya here, who got it first, who got it later. But we having it through the mouth or through the writing of Narada, it's called Narada Pancharatra.
Really, this deity is called Sri Ranganath.
Ranganath Swami.
Ranganath Swami.
You can, I don't know if it's there on the net because photo taking is prohibited in these temples. But it's a Vaikuntha Murti, and it expanded from Narayan itself. So it is equal to Shaligram. Right? Sometimes like Padmanabha Swami temple in South India is made out of many Shaligrams, but this one is not. It is a direct expansion of Narayan,
Yes.
given to Brahma. So we still have it on earth planet, like that. So that knowledge is coming there from there. So it was given in 5 nights. Nights means Ratri. So Pancharatri. In 5 nights this knowledge was transmitted to Brahma, and then he gave it later to Narada, to Shiva and to Narada, like that. So that's Pancharatra. Okay. We also discussed there are 5 limbs of the puja which you on the altar. Anybody can know? We mentioned 5 limbs. Pancha, Anga, Puja.
Yes.
What are the 5 limbs we discussed yesterday?
Yeah, 5 limbs, 5 Ganga. This Abhi, first was the Abhi.
Abhi what?
Yeah.
Abhi? What means going? Abhigamana.
Yeah, Abhigamnam.
Yes. Second?
Yes. Abhigamnam, and then Upadan.
Upadan means?
Yeah, collecting all the.
It's a little unfair because we didn't give you a book, you see. So you could read that tonight. Upadan is gathering the articles. It's very logical. From morning waking up to going to the temple, everything you do, bathing, teeth brushing, shaving, dressing, everything is Abhigamana before going to the temple. So when you arrive at the temple, then you collect all the items. This Upadan. Then,
And then yoga.
yoga means?
Yes, yoga means to have our own constitutional position that I am the servant of servant.
Yes, you identify as a servant of Krishna.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have yaja, Ija, puja, real puja.
Puja, Ija. It's called Ija in Pancharatra. You would wonder why not puja. He says Ija. Ija is the actual worship you do on the altar. Like today we had, when the curtains were closed, we were doing japa, then so much was going on.
Yes.
So that's only something fell, boom. Something was happening there.
Yes.
And then when the curtains opened, body time was dressed nicely. So what happened here was Ija. And the last item was?
Swadhyaya.
Swadhyaya. Very good. Okay. So that's nice. So that we discussed yesterday. We also discussed, what did we discuss more? There are different types of bathing. Anybody can mention how you can bathe? Of course, water is one way, but we had seen like 5 or 6 types of purifying yourself. Anybody remembers?
Yeah. One of the very potent is like in the dust of the cow, from the feet of the cow,
Very good.
hoof of the cow.
And that's called? How's it called in Sanskrit?
Where, V-Y-A or something.
You're good at Hindi, not so good at Sanskrit, I'm saying. Vayam Yasnam.
Vayam.
Anybody else remember another way of purifying, which we discussed? Sorry? Ashes, yes, ashes from the sacrifice. Another way of purifying?
With mantra.
With mantras, yes.
Mantra.
Mantra snan. Any other method we discussed yesterday? Remember which I meant? What was that? It's very nowadays we go to the spa. Is there spas here? Showers we have, that's so fun. Is there spas here? Spas? Beauty salon? In Köln? What do they do there? You pay a lot of euros to get some mud on your face. Is that
What? Naturopathy.
so
Naturopathy, yes.
naturopathy. So that is Parthiva Snan. You go to the bank of the Ganga, you take clay, you smear your body and sit in the sun till it becomes dry, crunchy. It sucks all the waste out of your pores.
Yes.
And then take a big dip in the Ganga.
No. Oh, I did it one time.
Really? I did many times in Mayapur.
Yeah,
There is no need for soap. You feel so clean right after that. Like only karma out, really. So that's Parthiva Snan. Any other way of bathing? We discussed yesterday. Remember?
Varuna Snan?
Varuna Snan is a common snan you take with bath, with water every day. Okay, why do we have this thing? What is it called actually?
Sikha.
1 year and 1 year, and this is in the middle.
Very good, very good. What here over there, what is that?
I don't know the names.
She's trying to say, what's she trying to say? Anybody can word her? She says, I do not know the words. But she's right, something to do with this. Something to do with this. What's here? What spot is here?
Krishna takes us.
That's what they say, that's the gossip. It's not Shastric.
To save the energy.
There is a main nadi, so like the Sushumna nadi, there is a head vein going up here, and this head chakra is rooted at this place. So that place is the connection between these two. It should be covered, because if there's any injury, you'll die.
Ich meine, das heißt Nervus vagus. Nervus vagus geht von oben bis nach unten. Dann. Nervus vagus.
Nerus vagus, or the Latin name.
Yeah.
That is the Latin name
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sie gibt some scholars here.
Ja, ich kann nur, weil ich Krankenschwester bin und dann kann ich das.
Sie wissen das ist
Ja,
das.
ja.
Das ist das Sahasrara Chakra.
Nerve,
It's
so
nerve,
big nerve, it goes from here to up
yeah. To the back.
and back
And it's
whole body.
connecting here also with the root of the Sahasrara Chakra, which goes here, like that.
How does sun?
Sahasrara Chakra. 1,000 petal lotus.
Ah.
Right? Chakra.
And you said that it's important to protect this,
Yeah.
cover this.
Cover this.
Okay.
Save everything, but you cover that place.
Why?
To protect that Sirsha Nadi and the chakra, root of the chakra.
Uh-huh.
Plus, it is working like an antenna.
Antenna.
You know what's an antenna? Everyone has
Yeah.
shuttles nowadays. So it is, if you don't shave, just like if you have many antennas, it doesn't work. You need one and a free space. So free space and an antenna, it attracts the universal prana energy in the chakra.
Some kind of
Connection, yes. You have the eyes to see, you would see going like this, you know. Yellow energy going to the universal energy. So it's all there. When I was in yoga classes in India, they were looking at me all the time. So what are you looking at? Well, I can see your nadi, it was a nadis, what did it say? Antahkarana, which is the connection with the upper world, you know. It starts from the sahasrara, like, and the yogis can see that. It's really like that. They say if you're a liar, it becomes very thin or disappears. They can see he's a liar. He's not a yogi, he's a bogey. But what was mine? I'm a liar? No, your one is very broad. Your one is very broad. So it's very wide, you know? Like that. So these are the technical ways which yogis used to see whether the disciples are doing correct or incorrect sadhana. We just have a deep feeling, because if this heart chakra opens, this also opens. The amount of energy which is here, the amount of attachment to Krishna is here, that amount you find here also. The thing here is the dhyan section, here is the feeling section. We are bhakti yogis, so here the feeling has to be very strong. This automatically opens. For us, this is secondary, this is the main. For the yogis, this is main, this is secondary. No feeling. Dhyan, you know. Okay, we continue. We will have some more questions from yesterday. We discussed a lot, you know? The room was full. Now let us go further. Just repeating, we have only 3 hours so before it's over. So, page number 62 starts with, this is Bhakti Swami noticing this now. The Vaishnava community is very meticulously structured. Elders are always respected by the young, and the young are always receiving blessings and affection from the elders. The Vaishnava community is structured in accordance with Varnashram, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and Sannyasi, Vanaprastha, Grihastha, Brahmachari. Rules of precedence among godbrothers are observed in accordance with their respective initiation date. So what this basically means, when you deal in society outside ISKCON, you always observe the rule. It's like when you go to India or even here in Köln, if you go to a temple of the Karmakandiyas, they expect you to know these rules. If there is a priest, a Brahman, he's always senior. Even if he's 10 years old and a king walks in, the king has to pay obeisances to a young Brahman boy. Just like Vamana. He was only 5 years old or 8 years old, and Bali paid obeisances. That is the etiquette. Brahmins are always senior. Okay? So now, within the Brahmin community, then there are other rules which I'll mention later. Then the Vaishyas, the Kshatriyas are always superior to the Vaishyas. The kings, the government is always higher than the business class, right? Like nowadays.
Yes.
No denial. And then you have the Shudras, the labor people, who are generally not very educated. You find them everywhere here and there. They like to drink marijuana and stuff like that. So not very clean. This is labor class. So they are generally employed by the Vaishyas, sometimes by the kings. But the kings or the royal class, when they employ the labor class, they demand some etiquette. So if you're an educated labor class, you can work for the king. It's not like in Holland we still have a king. I don't know. In Germany you don't have any king, is it?
No.
No.
In Holland we still have the royal house and King Alexander, and we have Queen Princess Amalia. We still have the royal household, even when this fellow came. What is his name? Donald Trump, when he came, the most powerful person in the world at the moment. he was hosted by the king. And they still have these, we call it laquais. It's a guard, a royal guard, with very nicely dressed according to royal style. So we still have this cultural thing. So for us, it's not so difficult to understand. If the king would walk in, everyone is standing quiet. All the business class, the labor class, because the king is walking. When the king passes by, they do your work again. It's just the culture, right? So you can imagine that this is the Vedic standard also. When the Maharaja comes, he walks by, people stand in respect like that. Only the Brahmins can stand and say, my dear Maharaja, you're doing this and this and this wrong. Therefore, the other groups, like the business class and the labor class, if they had to address a problem to the king, they could also ask the Brahmin to speak for them. That's nice. Because Brahmins you can approach anytime. They don't have any prestige, they don't have any royalty to protect them, bodyguards. So if anything necessary, you can go to the Brahmins. And Brahmins are very simple. They live in a simple house, they're always welcome. You just observe the basic etiquettes, that you take off your shoes and you be respectful. The Brahmins can do so much for you. They can even command the king, listen, this is wrong, the populace are objecting this, and definitely Maharaja will say, yes, my dear, Lord Brahman, what you say, I will take action, like that. That's a nice thing of this structure also. So when you go outside, then we should actually follow this. Though it is not so much a standard in Germany that we divide it like a Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, but there is a natural distinction also. What is the name of your president? Or lady president? Mayor? Merz. Okay.
Now the Merz is a Kanzler, and the president is. No?
You have a president also?
Yes?
Yes.
She's just a counselor.
Chancellor.
Chancellor means counselor, right?
Yes.
So
Prime
counselor
Minister. Chancellor is Prime Minister.
Prime Minister.
is PM, counselor.
Yeah.
Why call it counselor?
Chancellor.
Because chancellor means, counselor would mean like a minister.
No, it's
And the
not
king-
counselor, it's a chancellor, it's different.
Chancellor.
Frank-Walter Steinmeier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Frank-Walter Steinmeier is the
Yeah,
president.
yeah.
It's chancellor, and chancellor is Prime Minister.
Okay. Who's the executive head? Who
Who's the
makes the rules and who executes
There
it?
is chancellor.
Who's in the force, police force, everything? Who's doing
No,
that?
it's chancellor.
The chancellor?
Yes.
He's the executive committee.
Yes.
Okay. So suppose she would walk in here. How would you behave? She would come in.
It's better not to say.
It can be a real situation,
Yeah.
right? Then they can see, okay, these are Hare Krishna people, let's see if they are educated and behave properly. That's what you do. You have to represent Prabhupada. How would Prabhupada react if your counselor would come in, right? So if you join Prabhupada's movement, you're responsible. Each one of you is representing Prabhupada.
We can
Right.
only tell them, say Hare Krishna, chant Hare Krishna and be happy.
Take some prasad
Yes.
and go away.
Make your business out of the temple.
The way Prabhupada would react would host them very nicely, give them a seat, like chairs,
Yes.
and then introduce them to Gaudi Thai, then invite them for prasad downstairs, and discuss how much they can mean for us something. Maybe we can build a temple for us. Things like that. Very clever Prabhupada. Always very, how can we, because these people have power, they have land, they have money. By their one command, the things are done.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Chancellor, I think the Köln city center is not used much. Maybe you should give it to us, we'll make a good use of it.
Yes.
He said this to Switzerland, the mayor of the city. Prabhupada told this to the mayor of the city. Your city center did not very use much. You give it to us, we make a good use of it. Prabhupada actually said it like that. No? So we should read. You can learn all this if you read Prabhupada's letters and things, how he dealt with people in the government. And it was surprising that the mayor of Zurich was it? Yeah, he had the key to the city. You know that the term? Somebody has the key to the city? Because in the past, the cities were surrounded by walls.
Yes.
And there was actually a gate with a lock.
Yes.
So Prabhupada was always welcome in that city of peace. That city of peace is Zurich, isn't it? Or am I wrong?
City of what?
The city of peace.
Vienna.
Vienna, yeah, right.
Vienna.
It's not Zurich.
Yeah.
So in city of Vienna, then he went and he said that you give us the city center, you will good use of it. He was always welcome. He had always the key to, see? So this is already the first step. If you are a devotee, there's no excuse, oh, I'm just a bhakta, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to wear two same socks, you know. My socks got stolen, you know, my gumshoes are, I have a hole in it. No excuse. If you're a devotee, you have to be careful also. Also be expert dealing with society. Prabhupada wanted us to be expert in every field. So when he calls, you pick up the phone. But you put, you know, a button that says, the person you're calling is very busy at the moment. Please call him later. We don't do this kind of stuff. You know? So be expert at dealing, you're presenting Prabhupada. And as I said, there is a structure here, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras. How do they interact with each other? You'll find that the mayor of the city or the chancellor will pay respect because this is a holy man. Right? And you know, I'm going to meet a holy man, so I have to adjust accordingly. If so to say, the President of America would go to Vatican and meet the Pope, how would he act? So even they know the etiquettes, right? This is a holy man. He's not a political power, but he has spiritual power. And spiritual power is always bigger, higher than material power. So get his blessings.
If he go to Vatican, he need to act like how they act there and at that place. He need to act here in Temple, for example, how we act here. If he goes in club and make party, then he will act like how they act there.
The main thing is, we are representing a spiritual society. So if a person comes here for the first time, he will feel that the vibrations are different here. There's no fish baking here, there's no meat, there's no wine, alcohol. The vibrations are different here. So even if the etiquettes, the dresses in the Vatican are different, the main thing of showing respect and being God connected, God Gavaitan, that's the German word?
Yes.
People who are devoted to the spirit transcendence, you can see the difference. Like that. So there is an etiquette. When you see a holy man, no matter what group or what conviction it has, you pay respect to the person. You get his blessings. Like that. That's the etiquette. And actually royal people do that. Also in India, or the Prime Minister of India, Modi, before the election, he goes to all the spiritual societies to get the blessings to win the next election. He still does that. You know? Also he comes to ISKCON. You know? He also got blessed by our society. He's paying respect to everyone. And then, because he's so their idea is to just win the election. Even it might be fake, it doesn't matter. You know? Or it might be real, you can see in his heart. But the point is that when you go to a holy man or a holy lady, you pay respect. And you should be right etiquettes. Okay, you be respectful. You don't go in, very short, mini skirt, high heels, no. You go nicely dressed the way you're supposed to be. If you meet the queen, then you go in a sari, you go in a royal dress. As a matter of fact, when you go to these royal kings of ancient India, there are still families there. And you want to see the royal palace, and you think, okay, I have a nice dress, I have a kurta and I have a dhoti. So no, please go into that room. Then you get something like Gauradesh is wearing. You get a turban, you get a sherwani. What they are wearing is called a sherwani. This is the royal dress of Rajasthan, 500 years ago. And you get this nice pajama, long sleeve thing. And then you put a turban, a toban, a waist belt. You might get even a sword. And then you're fit. Otherwise you don't fit in the palace. Right? The palace has a certain vibration. It's royalty, it's power, it's force. So you should also dress accordingly. Otherwise you won't fit in. So they will give you the dress if you don't have it. And also in South Indian temples, also in Mayapur actually, especially with youngsters, when you go there and they dress not properly, and you go to see Radha Madhava and she's wearing a mini skirt, and this part is visible and this top piece, they say, come, you go into the room. And they don't explain anything, they don't chastise, no nothing, because they are innocent, they don't know. Yes, you'll get a full sleeves of skirt and a nice top piece and a head cover. Now you go. So by this, that girl understands, if I'm going to see God, if I'm going to see the Murti, I should be dressed properly. Right?
Yes.
So this is one way to teach people, without having to instruct anything. Men also, when they go in there and they have this shorts, they go, please go in there. They get a dhoti, sometimes even stitched dhoti, or they tie you a dhoti, nicely dressed with chadar. Now you go. Then they know, oh yes, okay. This is the way they instruct how to behave according to the circumstance. In a temple situation, you should have temple dress. Right? That's the tradition. When you go to a royal situation, you try to dress in a royal way. When you go to a party, yes, then you can do whatever you like, you know. Be a skinhead, acid head, yes, to say things like that. That's expected. And you don't go there, preach high shoes, you know, with you know, this lacquered shoes, and you know, no, you go in there, you know, jeans which are torn here and like that. That fits the party, you know. And we go for labor. If you go to a factory, then you have uniforms, you know, like that. So this is basic culture. It's logical to understand, but for devotees, we should also see. We have to adjust in any circumstance, but we don't make any what's the word? Don't they do any? What's the word?
Opulent.
Not opulent. Concessions. Concessions, is that right? That you try to be like them. No, we have our own culture. We are preachers. We want to establish Vedic culture. Concession is the word, right? To give way to, you know, try to fit in. Because they are having dogs, we also take a dog. Otherwise we wouldn't fit. No, we don't do these things. We have a standard of culture, we have a way of preaching, and we stick to that. Prabhu gave us saris and dhotis, we wear in whatever situation. You might adjust a little bit with the dhoti, like what I do when I go outside and it's very windy. Then instead of letting it hang in front, I make a second cut, put it back. You know that nothing can, you know, blow up or down like that. I prefer something. With this kind of dress, you can even do horse riding on dhoti. How did our ancestors do that? Also with dhoti, with horse riding, everything is possible, and there's a way to do. And with ladies, there is saris and things like that. So we take that, and you will see if you stick to your culture, because our dress is a holy dress, and a holy atmosphere fits everywhere except for a party. So it also fits into a royal dress, unless you go to see the royal household of the king. You know, if I invite holy people, Hare Krishnas or sadhus, they will be in sadhu dress. So they will guide you to a room which is fit for your dress. This is also what they do. They'll guide you to the temple room, right? So like that. So people come here. So then, you know, if they are your governors here, then we can say, okay, is there any place you could guide them? Maybe in the next room here, we have this kirtan hall. You know, maybe there are some political things, some royal flags of Germany put there that they feel comfortable, and give a nice seat so they can speak. So the same way we host them also according to them. So both ways, then they will respect you also. And you get your temple built like this. If you nicely treat them, they have power, they have money, they have land, and they are, you know, favorable to you, easily you can get things done. But that position, it's not the individual. That position carries that gravity. If you are in the position of a PM, Prime Minister, or a Chancellor, then that position carries power, and that power must be respected. In the Bhagavatam, we find that the rishis are asking Saunak Rishi, can you speak about Parikshit? But only speak about Parikshit if he's Krishna conscious. If he's not Krishna conscious, then we don't care for him. Have you read that section? In the first canto, it's like that. I'm just making a little bit exaggerated. How do the rishis, how does Saunak Rishi react on that? He says, my dear rishis, you're sitting here in Naimisharanya, nicely protected, that you can do your bhajan and discuss your scriptures. Under whose protection are you able to do this? Isn't that Parikshit? So why are you asking whether he's Krishna conscious or not? You should respect the power he has, and he's respecting sages, and therefore he's protecting the land where you can do your sadhana. Right? So that's there. So we should, both sides, respect that position. Though the person might not be worshipable, like Hiranyakashipu, but the position of being the emperor of the universe must be respected. Right? Like that. So be sensitive to others. So among Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, Brahmanas are always superior. Then those in power, Kshatriyas, then the business class, and then the general labor class. So, Simon, yes.
Excuse me, I have a question to the first point. It said that the young people must always respect
The elders.
Yes.
I'll come to that. I'm trying to explain actually what the whole thing which is said in this first paragraph basically of chapter. I'm trying to give it in another form. You know, I wrote the book, so I know what's there. So I'll stay step by step. Once you hear the full story, everything is clear. Then among sannyasis, vanaprasthas, grihasthas, and brahmacharis, the brahmacharis are students. So they are in the, still in school. So they're supposed to respect the grihasthas. Generally, the grihasthas were the teachers. That's why we call it Guru Kul. Kul means family. Guru's family. That means Gurus generally were the grihasthas. A good brahmachari will become a good grihastha. A good grihastha becomes a good vanaprastha. And a good vanaprastha becomes a good sannyasi. A third class brahmachari becomes a third class grihastha. And the third class grihastha becomes a third class vanaprastha. And the third class vanaprastha becomes a third class sannyasi. Right? So it depends like that. Generally, grihasthas were the teachers. Then when they are retired, when they have fulfilled their griha, their household duties, they take vanaprastha, live in the forest in a renounced way. And they practice the austerities they learned as a brahmachari. Right? Now they have reached something through the grihastha ashram they could not do on their own, which is anartha nivriti. And the effects of lust, anger, greed, envy, which we're born with, that's the gift of Maya when you take birth in this planet. Those effects, when it affects you, it creates all kinds of weaknesses in your heart. You know, like when you're attracted to women, and you know, especially political people know that. Okay, it's easy to get things done, you know. Send a beautiful girl with a lot of money, and he will say yes, and we get our things done. You know? You buy the person. Or a person has a weakness for alcohol. Okay, send some really good German, ripened wine for the person with a lot of money, and he will bow down for you. So these are all weaknesses which people make use of. So when you could not control your senses, as a brahmachari, you know that material world is not very happy, it's a happy place, but you still had desires. You understand the intellectually, but you cannot control the heart. It's a problem, right? You know, actually, you should not do this, but still you do, because the desire is stronger than the intellect. Isn't it? Now that's the essence of anartha, it's the essence of weakness. So if you could not control your desires, you have to go into the grihastha ashram. Then your little kid will train you into tolerance, because you want to sleep at night, and at 2 o'clock the kid decides, I'm hungry. You have to wake up. You have to clean yourself and get some, hot milk to feed the kid. You become very tolerant, Even 2 o'clock at night, you wake up to feed the kid. And then you're clean, you have bathed and everything, ready to go to the temple, and the kid starts to, what now? Oh yes, you have just taken a bath, but the kid decides, let him take a bath again. You clean the diapers, you wash them again, and then you have to take a bath again. Very tolerant. All these things in the Gurukul you could not understand. You wanted to enjoy this world. The kid shows you that he's enjoying more than you do. He's getting his milk and he's getting his diapers cleaned, and you have to be a servant, right? And many, many other things you learn in the Grihastha department, ashram, which you could not do as a brahmachari. So then, in practical life, you'll do. You thought that women are beautiful girls and they will serve you. Oh, phantasmagoria. She forces you to serve her, isn't it? Do this for me. No, it's not in the scriptures like that. Well, in practicality, it is like that. And she thought, oh, my husband will be very beautiful, like a beautiful man, and will be jealous on me that I have this husband. And somehow or other, it is not the way I thought it is. Wake up to the reality. The world does not. So you learn in the Grihastha ashram what you could not do as a brahmachari. But now all these desires have been extinguished. These lusts, because you're old, over 50. Then you are free from all these desires, all these effects of lust, anger, greed. Then easily can take up renunciation and austerities again. Vanaprastha, above 50. You have seen the world, you have done all that, and it's all finished. Then what you learn in Gurukul as a young student, now you can easily do. Now you're ripened. You have become mature, and you can practice austerities. And very quickly, very soon, within 10 years, you can attain self-realization. You can see who you are on the spiritual, on the atmic level. And when you realize who you are in relationship with Krishna, then you take sannyas. There is no need anymore to live in this world with the physical reality. Right? Therefore, Vanaprastha is a very nice ashram and also very austere ashram. But there is a warning in the Manusmriti: don't do too many austerities in the Vanaprastha ashram that you become disturbed. You still should be happy while doing austerities. So you do all the Kadeshis nicely, you can nirjala. Even Dhritarashtra, he went for Vanaprastha, he was taking bath 3 times a day, doing those austerities. Why? To realize who he was on the atmic level. But because he had made an offense towards the Pandavas, he could only come up to the Brahman level. But otherwise, like Vidur and others, they could go back to Godhead even. So that's the system. If you fail as a brahmachari, you take grihastha. Now, the thing he comes in ISKCON, it is different. In the Gaudiya Sampradaya, renunciation is much more valued than the grihastha ashram. And it is very particular in the Gaudiya Sampradaya. In other Sampradayas, it's different. If you go to Sri Sampradaya, the teachers are generally the grihasthas. But in ISKCON, the teachers are the sannyasis. Renunciation is very highly regarded in our Sampradaya, like that. Therefore, sometimes you find that the brahmachari is more advanced as a grihastha than a grihastha. How does it come? These are the grihasthas who didn't have any brahmachari training.
Yes.
Right? Just like now I'm sitting as a brahmachari, and many of you are grihasthas. It should be the way around.
Yes.
Right? But because you didn't have brahmachari training from the beginning, then I can teach you that. And also in your vocabulary, which you can understand as a grihastha. You're people who have a job. You're working outside. How do you deal with it? How do you represent ISKCON? So living as 30 years in ISKCON society like this, I'm able to teach this. It's particularly for ISKCON because the other Sampradayas don't have this preaching worldwide, inviting new people to become Krishna conscious. Only we do this. Others can only imitate. And then unique situations arise. That now you have a senior Mataji sitting there, like twice maybe my age, and I'm teaching her. How is this? Then you see this rule come up here. If someone is a Brahminical, he's always the teacher of all the other societies. So, okay, then you understand how sannyasis are most senior. Now, within a certain varna, among Brahmins only, there are no Kshatriyas, no Vaishyas, no Shudras in the Brahmin community. Who is then senior? Then you go again by Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. Among Brahmanas, the Brahmacharis are the most junior. The Grihasthas among the Brahmanas are senior, and then more senior among the Brahmins are the Vanaprastha Brahmanas, and the most senior are the Sannyasi Brahmanas. Okay? That's easy to understand. Yes.
But Prabhu, so you are brahmachari, so you are a student, or am I wrong? So you are a student and you are teaching us how to understand this.
How to understand this, as I said, in ISKCON we have a unique situation that we're trying to reach worldwide. So we are having a big outreach. And in this way, if somebody wants to learn the process, then the one who's most advanced or most learned, he will teach like that. So then this structure is not so much regarded. If you go to India, like at Mayapur, it's much more regarded. Because those who were brahmacharis in the Gurukul, when they become grihasthas, they are learning, fully learning. And I can go to these grihasthas and learn like yagyas, mantras, astrology, because they were in the Gurukul.
Yes.
But here we have a situation that grihasthas never had anything. They don't know anything about it's the Gurukul. They only know chemistry, biology, things like that. Huh?
Yes.
But they come to learn spiritual knowledge. So then anybody who has the knowledge teaches. This is specifically for ISKCON and the Gaudiya Sampradaya. Because others are not preaching. The Sri Vaishnavas are not preaching. Other Brahmins are not preaching, not teaching like that. Then you get these unique situations. And this was already there during the time of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Therefore, he wanted brahmacharis to wear saffron, not white. He wanted them to be renounced. Otherwise, Vedic brahmacharis wear white. But you see sometimes, if Pari wears white, he tends to drink Coca-Cola, eat chocolate. No, I'm not a sannyasi. I don't wear saffron. So he's not so strict. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati didn't like that. Wear saffron, even if a brahmachari, because you have to become a sannyasi later. He likes to give sannyas to his disciples. So it went like that because he started the preaching mission. Our Sampradaya is mentioned in the scriptures to be destined to do outreach. You know outreach? Outreach means you're sitting here, but you're extending your arms to unite the world, to bring in people, outreach like this. And among those people you're bringing in, many are uneducated, not aware of their philosophy, whatever it is. They are grihasthas, they are experienced in material life, but not in spiritual life. So therefore then, those who are experienced, they have to teach. They can be grihasthas, even ladies we have, lady gurus who can teach. So it's not seen in other sampradayas. They're very much structured according to Varnashram, and they're mainly in India. They're not outside India. But we have a strong outreach outside India. And then these unique situations come, and therefore we also have some problems here. Who can teach, who cannot teach. You have to look at the psychology, his reputation. What is the motivation behind his teaching? He wants to have self-respect, self-aggrandizement, or he's really after the welfare of the students. All these things we have to take into account, which is not so much necessary in an Indian situation. But still we take the structure as the foundation to understand it. It's supposed to be like this. But we are failing on every field because we don't have established varnashram. Why? Because the Western culture doesn't allow varnashram basically. It's very difficult. And the situation is different. The Brahmins, are they very learned? Are they experienced? So we are heading toward, we're trying our best. We take only some few parts here, like that. And therefore I can sit here and teach as a student. I'm supposed to take Vanaprastha actually. I'm over 50. So you can say I'm a brahmachari, but actually I'm a Vanaprastha also. So I have some adhikar to teach the Grihasthas. Yes, you can say it like that also. Becoming old and especially when you become very senior and there's something else. Often then realization of past life also manifests in you. It's like that. And especially me, I'm very inquisitive about the past life. So when I speak, I can also give you knowledge of 300 years, basically, of past lives, of experience of varnashram, of guru. These things come to you. If they have a message for you, they will be revealed. If you properly chant in the mode of goodness, these things also reveal. So then it gives more gravity to your understanding. You don't have to have experienced everything in this life. Krishna even mentions in the Gita, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacharjuna, tani ham veda sarvani natmam vedha parantapa. Both you and me have lived many, many lives, O Arjuna. I remember all of them, and you do not. Therefore you fall in mine, and I do not. So Krishna speaks, he's not speaking as just Krishna. He says, I'm a Ram among the wielders of weapons. So now Krishna is in a Ram mood, right? He's in a Matsya, Kurma, so many lives he had. He can talk from all these lives. You can imagine how much experience there is, and how much realization there is. So like that, it gives gravity, it's a realization. Okay, so now among the Kshatriyas, if you look among the governors, who is senior, how do you decide? Among them, basically, it's age. Actually, age is a criterion which follows in all lines. Among Brahmanas also, if somebody is very aged, he's respected. Right?
Why?
With age, I'll tell. For Brahmins, actually, the main criterion is knowledge and experience. Secondary is age. Among Kshatriyas, same, about power and influence. Secondary is age. Among Vaishyas, it's who has the most wealth and influence. And secondary is age. Among Shudras, there is neither knowledge, there is no power, there is no money. Only age. Right? Age has to be respected. Why? Because with age, a lot of experience comes. They have, especially I've seen in India, some of these rich people, Tata, Birla, call them, they would just go with the driver somewhere in some remote place and then discuss with the driver. Well, he's a labor class, but he's old and he's very experienced. So you can get ideas from them. It is not that the Shudra is always suppressed. No, if he's experienced, then we learn from him. How do you do this? What is your view? And by learning from him, discussing from him, then you can do your plans also. So age is a criterion, always respected. But more than that, among Brahmanas is knowledge. More than that, among Kshatriyas is power and influence. Right? Nobody asks about the age of the President of the United States. No, that position is supreme power in the world, right? Anybody can sit there, but that position will be respected. But then, among all those governors of the United States, then you see the position is most prominent, and then secondary age. Listen, sonny boy, I could be your father. You should respect me, isn't it? That's how they talk.
Sonny boy.
Son-like child, not son-like boy. That is sonny boy. Right? So it is like that. And then among the Vaishyas also, you find, especially in India, if if a Vaishya comes in, big guy, how do you recognize the Vaishyas? The big business class. Yes. Bellies, yes, big bellies, nice eating bellies. They're not
Many gold necklaces.
Necklaces, everything.
Rings.
And then you reckon, hey, he's even bigger than I am, so he goes and touches his feet, his belly, because he's more rich than him. And he gives the friends like that. So this is also the etiquette within the societies of Vaishyas. So now among sannyasis, how do you see who's a senior? Many sannyasis are here?
No.
What, no? If many sannyasis were here,
If many, okay.
right? How would they
If many, sir.
judge who is the most senior?
The one who was initiated early, before, who was initiated for like.
That's one criterion, but not the supreme criterion.
More quiet.
Not quiet. If you look at the Chaitanya Charitamrita, you find that Prakashananda Saraswati was the head of the sannyasis. Does it mean Prakashananda was the oldest? No. He was the most learned, the biggest scholar. So the sannyasis, those who are most renounced, most scholarly, and have proven to be able to defeat all arguments, they are the most senior. They will respect others by age, but the Vyas will be occupied by the one who has most knowledge. Right?
Is that spiritual knowledge or?
Spiritual. Sannyasi means spiritual knowledge.
Spiritual.
Oh, he's a PhD in mathematics. So let him sit on a Vyas. No, it's not like that. Spiritual knowledge. Prakashananda Saraswati was a student of Vedanta. And he told Mahaprabhu, I've heard you were a Nimai Pandit before. And he sat at that humble place, Mahaprabhu, where they washed the feet, sannyasis. They come by his behavior. And especially what Mahaprabhu did, nobody can do. Nobody in this ISKCON can do that. He showed them Brahma Tejas. Namo Narayan. He's already Narayan. Namo Narayan. And they all bow down to him. And that's how he conquered all of them. We are not able to. We don't have the power. Unless you chant very nicely and show you Brahma Tejas, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. They won't bow down to you, these sannyasis. So like that, they bow down to realization, sannyasis. Mahaprabhu said, Guru More Murkha Dekhi Karila Sashan. My Guru taught me to be a fool. You cannot study Vedanta. And therefore I'm chanting Hare Krishna whole day. Really? But I see you're so effulgent and like, we want to attain this Brahman. Effulgence, you already have it. Yes, you also chant Hare Krishna. Really? Hare Bol! Hare Bol! Hare Bol! They went on like that, no? So Mahaprabhu conquered them. So among sannyasis is knowledge realization. Age always comes in. But when it comes to occupy the seat of speech, it is knowledge. Just like all Brahmins. The others will sit around, they're called sadasyas, respectable, I call that, respectable, how do you say, sadasya? He's a senior aged, realized Brahmin who assists with the sacrifice or with the speech. So he has the right to say, listen Prakashananda, you quoted that verse, but then it says this and this and this. How do you know? Yeah, thank you. And he goes on speaking without feeling offended. These are sadasyas, the senior learned people, and they come and sit. He occupies the main seat, and there are several seats.
Council.
You can say council. It's called sadasya in Sanskrit. How do you put it in English? Like ministers. They advise the king. So the king never feels offended when the minister advises him like that.
But only when he gives the advice, receipt from them, then he don't feel offended. If somebody else gives advice, then something else, right?
Yes, because a brahmachari is not supposed to go to a sannyasi. Say, listen, Mr. Sannyasi, behave like no. If he has a point to make, he can go to the sadasya. Say, Maharaj, please, I'm not qualified, but I have somewhere read this and this and this, but Maharaj is speaking like this. Can you clarify? Before it goes to him, the sadasyas will do. Just like before it went to Mahaprabhu, first Swarup Damodar Maharaj or Swarup Damodar would check it. Whether the poem was right, whether the song was correct, before it went to Mahaprabhu. It was not allowed. See, Mahaprabhu had the same rule. And Nityananda Thakur used to protect him. These were grihasthas, right? Protecting that nobody could just meet a sannyasi. And that's what I'm saying. Brahmachari should not have a mobile, but he should be protected by people who have mobiles. You see? He doesn't have to face any maya. If you protect your own devotees, you get really good devotees.
Yes.
But if you leave them open in the wild, and they are attacked by lions and this and that, then don't expect that they will come home without any scratch. You see? Like that. Protection is needed. Those who are renounced by the grihasthas. Because all the trouble put on internet is not done by brahmacharis, vanaprasthas, or sannyasis. It's done by the grihasthas. They have made all these things. We didn't make them. But if you force us to deal with that, then you say, you're not a brahmachari. Why? I don't want to deal with this. But you say, all your tests should be done through email and through internet. That means you're forcing a brahmachari to buy €1,600 laptop.
Yes.
And connect with internet.
In the 5th class, in the 5th class,
Yeah.
they get a iPad.
No.
In the 5th class.
Then what do you expect from your kids? What kind of brain do you have? You know, they won't think, oh, I can write like this. No, you think I type it, click, 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 click.
Yes.
Now
Now
it's
you
not
don't
even
write,
typing.
just type.
ChatGPT, can you make a test for me? I should be elite, teacher cannot trace, and I should get a, 90% at least, okay? These are the criteria ChatGPT will do for you.
Yes.
Do it in my way, the way I think. And the teacher think, oh, nice test you made, 90%. Thank you. The guy didn't learn anything. And he's cheated by ChatGPT,
Yes.
But this is, what are you really doing? Who made ChatGPT? Not the brahmachari, not the sannyasi. Grihasthas made it.
Yes.
Right? They're cheating themselves. People with the job, people with the big IIT head made these kind of things. And their kids cannot learn anymore. I actually got a complaint in Holland from a lady that teachers are saying the kids don't want to learn. Do we have any solution for that? These are the things I said. You give them comfort, they become lazy. Okay, it's time for a break. 5 minutes, we continue.
Yes.
Okay?
Ego.
You can do for the other grey stars.